Hey everybody, it's Bishop. Listen, y'all are teens and I love you, but I'm going to tell you, my teen years were rough, okay? And I wanted to have something for you tonight. We're not having, class, but I wanted to talk to you about something, and it's about learning how to love and value yourself. I was growing up a lot bigger than most people, still pretty now, but, there's pressure from that. And it came to a point, I had some other issues, a lot deeper stuff, but I had to make a decision whether I was going to learn to value myself. And you all know I didn't have that faith at first. I didn't know that Jesus loved me. I didn't know that God valued me. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, all I could go off of was my experience. But I want to say something to you. You are valuable even if you don't know it yet. And you say, well, Pastor, you don't know what I've been through. Let me tell you something. Your experience does not have to define you. I'm going to tell you what I mean. I just got through doing noonday, okay? So it's like 1:40 right now when I'm recording this. I just got through doing noonday, and I asked, how many people have never had someone just walk up and hand you money? Well, this one guy said, he had never had. There were a few people that had not. And I said, so if I told you to believe that somebody would walk up to you, you're probably not going to believe it because your experience has been so bad. And he was like, right. So I said, but your experience can lie to you. He was like, huh? So I said, come here. And I gave him $300. He was like, what? I was like, yeah. What happened? I said, your experience would make you think it could never happen for you. But one decision and it all changes. You may look and say, I don't look like I want to look, or people don't value me, or my parents are whack and, acting weird. But listen to what I'm telling you. You don't let your experience define you. You have to be able to know that God is right. The Bible is right. And whether you understand it all, you ain't got to understand all of it right now. But you need to understand this. God so loved you that he gave his only begotten son. And why is that important? Because it shows value. If you see a pair of shoes and it costs $2, now that may be a good buy, but you don't put as much value in them, okay? But if you see a pair of shoes and everywhere you've seen them, they want a $2,000 for them, you're thinking, wow, there must be something about them. I'm here to tell you that you are so valuable that God gave Jesus. Now that's huge. I got two boys. Y'all know I do, TJ and John. And I love people, but I don't see me giving them, but God loves us that much. And I'll say this. If we were able to do this and you could respond back, what do you consider a good person? For me, I like somebody nice, somebody honest, somebody fun to be around, somebody that pulls their own weight. Now, I like, if you're going to, I'm old enough to work, so I like people who work. You don't work, I got some issues, but unless you just can't find a job, you know what I'm saying. But what do you consider a valuable person? Okay? Nice. Do you try to be nice? Okay, then. Do you try to be a person that's honest? Okay, then. Do you try to be faithful to your friends? See, a lot of times we value other people, and then the enemy gets in our ear and tells us that we're not valuable. But the devil is a liar. If it's important for them, then if you've got it, you got to be able to say I'm a good person. I may not be everything I should be, but God loves me, and I make a decision to love myself. Okay, you don't look like you want to look. Let me tell you something. You ain't going to look like nothing like that in 10 years anyway. You are changing, and you're developing, and you're growing. Cut yourself some slack. And I'll ask you this, and we're not going to be long. If you had a brother or sister that had, really developmental delays, okay, maybe Down syndrome or something like that, if they were able to paint a beautiful picture, you'd be so proud of them because you know how challenging it is for them to do it. Well, now, here's my statement. All of us have situations, circumstances. We've got battles. We've got issues. And yet we do our best to present something and make things and do well. Don't you think you should give yourself some credit? I'm just saying, you got to learn to love you. You got to learn to appreciate and value you. And no, you may not be everything you ought to be, but you're getting better. I'll close like this. I'm a preacher, so Bishop got to talk about the Bible. Peter, there's a situation where Jesus said, Peter, do you love me? He said, yeah, but not like I should. Jesus said, okay, you're right. Still want you to do something, feed my sheep. Then Jesus said, Peter, do you love me? I mean, with everything. Peter was like, yeah, I mean, not like that, but I do love you. Jesus said, okay, feed my lambs. Then Jesus said, Peter was like, what? What do you want, Jesus? He said, do you even love me a little? Peter's like, Jesus, you know everything. Why do you keep asking me this? And Jesus said this. He said, Peter, I do know everything. And I know that you may not love me exactly like you should. Watch now. But by the time you get old, I will have worked things out in you, Pete. I still love you and want to use you, even though you're not everything you're going to be. If God can look at you and look at me, and if he could love the little confused girl that dealt with masturbation and read porno stuff and just went through all these changes, didn't have a sense of self, if he could love me and watch me develop, he loves you and will do the same for you. Cut yourself some slack, love yourself, and I look forward to us being in Bible study together next Wednesday. Talk to you.